2 lifelong friends, 1 local establishment. The hidden truth is out there, and we're going to talk about it. What happens in the bar no longer stays in the bar. This is Conspiracy Beerists.
Just some things they say, I'm for Red October or whatever.
And welcome to the latest episode of Conspiracy Beerists. I am Dan. That is Brian. How you doing, Brian?
Excellent.
And today we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. And before we do it, last time we had a little contest for shirt winners, for winners of Conspiracy Beer shirts. So Jeremiah in Oregon and James in Virginia have won the Conspiracy Beer shirt. So we will be sending those out very shortly to you. Thank you for participating. And if you got the trivia question right, it was our co-host that day was my cat Kobe. Yeah. Anyways, so we're going to be talking about a lot of different things today. And before we even get into it, I just want to say something that we're going to get kind of political today in the later stages. And not to get all sentimental, but this dude here I've known for a long time. Love him like a brother. He is a brother, technically. And even though we'll get heated, it just proves that two people that love each other can disagree.
Right.
So what are we going to talk about today other than, political shit later
I thought
on?
it was Freemasons.
No, we're going to talk about the Freemasons, but later on we're going to get into a touchy subject. So like we kind of did a week or so ago on text, and I think we were both drinking at the time.
Probably.
So what's your overview on the Masons?
Well, it's they're all over the place, hidden. But I think it has to do with how high you go up is where, 33rd degree is the highest. They say 32nd degree, but the 33rd, you get freedom of knowing everything. Like I seen it on that History Channel one about the Freemasons. But then I watched another video where it was showing like they'll put their hand in their shirt, like the halfway.
The symbolism and stuff?
Symbolism's everywhere. And it's like, the more, I think you got to have a lot of money to be on top of that or do a lot of rituals or something.
Yeah, so you're just not the boob that wants to be a Mason and ends up sweeping the floors or something. He's never going to make anything of himself.
But yeah, they're all over. Shaq's one, he showed his ring on NBA Tonight. And they're like, what are you doing? You're a Freemason? Like, yep.
Well, getting sidetracked, which we do frequently on this podcast. Did you hear about Shaq's admission finally? This is yesterday, he made it, and he was on the Dan Patrick show and admitted that what was the Super Bowl of Atlanta and the Patriots two Super Bowls ago.
Yeah.
He admitted he lost $300,000 on a bet. And he said, I was all drinking, buying shots for everyone at halftime because they were up 28-3. And he's like, I thought it was in the bag. And
$300,000 though.
yeah, it must be nice just to go ahead and drop $300,000 and ho hum.
Juice.
I think Gene had to come to his door.
Hey, Shaq. Help me a little.
Well, the Masons have been around allegedly since the Egyptian times,
right,
where that's where a lot of stuff claims that they started. And it supposedly started as a serious thing for masonry work, but it kind of exploded into that.
It's amazing. All the presidents, not all of them, but especially the first few I don't know.
Well, yeah, people have
Masons,
said this country was built by Masons.
right? And they actually George Washington did a ritual when on the rock, right?
Yes,
And I don't remember what the rock's called though, but there's a big rock in
it's
Washington.
Dwayne Johnson's.
Yeah, that's right. You should.
If you smell what the country is cooking there, I don't know. Anyways,
But that you got the Illuminati, which is I think Freemasonry is just like a branch off of it, because there's so many clubs that seem like they're all in it together.
did I send you that video about the Illuminati that I watched on Amazon Prime?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It was obviously a pro Illuminati video, but these people were saying the Illuminati was real
Right.
in the 1800s, but it's not anymore.
Adam Weishaupt. See,
It was something. It's talking about how it's all German or Hungarian or something like that.
Yeah. And what was the other group? They had the shields and everything.
Oh, you're talking about the Templars?
Yeah, the Templars. That's part of it too. Which is, it's a crazy thing, man. They're all looking for the same shit.
So what do you think they want? This ultimate control?
Power. The world, own the world. That's what one of the Masons said on that History Channel. So they were wanting to rule the world.
Well, they kind of do. I mean, if they created this country and
they built it pretty much.
I mean,
there's all types of signs above Washington of what it looks like. Like there's an owl, I think, and the what the fuck is that called? Compass. Pen and compass. Is that what it
right?
is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that on Washington. It's just crazy how they just control everything, and it's all symbols.
Wasn't Washington D.C. is basically laid out in masonry fashion or
Right.
something with a triangle and
The star, pentagram, or whatever. It's unreal. But they, the symbolism is everywhere.
wasn't is it the Washington Monument or the Jefferson Monument allegedly has a masonry keystone or whatever
Yeah, there's a keystone there.
at the base or something like that. I don't know.
It's like Denver Airport's got a same thing. And that place is crazy in itself.
That's one we should talk about. Some it wouldn't be a whole show, but all the theories around the Denver airport, and I mean we kind of talked about the underground bases and stuff a while ago, but people claim that there's all kinds of
They
stuff.
say that there's a tunnel running from there to the White House.
It's a hell of a tunnel.
It's long.
But I guess if they can do it like, digging a tunnel under the English Channel and stuff,
Right, they're supposed to dig one under the Mackinac Bridge or something, aren't they?
It's supposed to be an oil pipeline or something. I don't.
Oil pipeline, that's what Whitmer's looking for, I think.
Now, we stated there, I forget what it is. It was like 80% of the people that signed the declaration were all Masons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd say they had a hand in putting this
Everything.
country together. I don't know.
And it's a smaller group of people, but now it's like it's stacked, but they all know what's going on through like symbols and stuff like that. Like it's a little language they talk to each other through.
Now, do you think it's still as prevalent now as it was then?
I think it's even different now, just because there's but they don't flaunt it, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a cult, it's hidden. So I think there is more of it now. It's getting more popular, obviously.
So there's a public and a private Masons.
Probably. I imagine 32nd on down is public.
So, I mean, we can go to the Linden and to the.
Right. There's one in Byron. They're all over.
But I'm sure you can walk right through all those and.
Right. I'm
They're
sure
di-
they're not doing rituals or things like that. They're worried about the Lions.
They're the
Club or
little
something.
ones that are out there feeding poor people and stuff.
Collecting coins and handing Tootsie Rolls out.
Good old Tootsie Rolls.
The Tootsie Roll.
So you think, oh,
Son of a diddly.
every single episode I should just learn to shut my damn phone off. So,
It's the Illuminati.
well, see, now my, the other tripod is, after I got a text saying it wasn't arriving today, now it allegedly is. So,
It's here. Sweet.
so next time you see that Brian has the higher up visionary look now, I'll have that too next time. We're gonna rearrange the studio a little bit and make it more, I don't know, something
Studious.
more studious. Yeah. And if I get off my fat ass, I might actually paint it. So what are there any players other than like Washington and the presidents and stuff?
It's all over. It's the Queen. You know, it's the royal family. They're all in on it. I mean, I don't know if they call it in on it, but they're in it. And what's Meghan Markle's husband name? Which one is he?
Prince somebody, Harry, whatever.
Yeah. Well, they had a picture of him doing that.
Harry Bolton, yeah.
And his hand in sideways, which means it's like they're a coat or a second coat. I can't remember what. It's like a nickname. But like I said, it had Britney Spears is one, Michael Jackson was one, Justin Timberlake. It's called
if they let that nutbag Britney Spears in, they'll let anybody in then. So.
Marvin Gaye, Master of the Second Veil is what they're called. Paul McCartney.
So what does that mean? Just a stage of power that
probably.
I mean, do you think?
I think Britney's fucked up right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means to her. Like she can't control her money or anything. Her dad's doing it or something, right?
That's been like that for a few years where I think she's just nutty.
It's weird.
Maybe her dad's a big time Mason. That's how
that kid that got killed by the bodyguard in Florida a few years ago, that black kid.
Oh, Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon, his dad's a Freemason.
So what so they go everywhere. So and you said you just think power and control.
There's different there's I think like you said, Bohemian has one. They all have these not man, what the fuck are they called? It's like buildings, but like Masonic building and
Temples,
yes. Masonic temple in Canada has MTV in it, which is weird. Like MTV does their shit in there.
So it has the studio right inside the Masonic temple.
Yes. But you think about the MTV, Masonic Temple Vision. I don't know.
Maybe that's why they quit showing videos. I don't know. I mean, we talked about the music a little while ago, about all the symbolism and
crazy.
So who knows? Maybe it's just another form of control.
Right, brainwashing.
And then if anyone out there watching or listening has an opinion or a thought that we can come back on a future podcast and share your thoughts, just let us know on the comment section on YouTube, or let us know on Facebook at Conspiracy Beerists 911. I should do that like Shatner. Conspiracy Beerists 911. What do you know anyone that's a Mason?
No, I don't. I mean, I probably do. Maybe knew someone in Linden, like an older gentleman.
Red.
He's too busy.
Shut up, Snake.
But there's one in Linden. We probably know some people that were.
Oh, I'm sure. But well,
it's not all secret until you get to the higher levels. But
in my old podcast, Nerding Out, that I used to do, Jason, my co-host, his cousin or something was like a low level Mason, and we were going to talk about this then, and his cousin was going to show up, and it's like all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I can't make it. Every time we tried to plan it, he's like, I can't make it. It's like,
why didn't you just tell us in the first place?
it's like,
It's all
first of all,
right?
you're a peon, so you don't know anything.
You know about the fucking city government or something.
Yeah, we hand out Tootsie Rolls,
Yeah.
and
Little flowers.
we feed
White
the
flower.
elderly, and
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, supposedly they're good for little cities, but not for the world.
well, even in everything, there's a little bit of good in everything. I mean,
Right.
as much as you despise Bill Gates and everything, he does some good things.
He's a philanthropist.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of philanthropists out there.
And there's a
They're
lot
doing
of
a little good and a little bad. Like Rothschilds are philanthropists, I think, aren't they? And
probably, but
Rockefeller.
I mean, that's kind of the one thing when you become uber rich that gets tacked onto your.
You kind of have to, I think.
I mean, what are you going to do with all that money? You're just
Right.
going to die with it and be a Scrooge, and not that I'm never going to know, but
Right. That'd be nice, not having to worry about that.
So what are some of the well, not that we really know because we're not in, but some of the things that they do to make you join? Did you?
They I seen one where maybe I'll send you that video maybe. And they make sure they put a sword on their right shoulder or left shoulder. I can't remember which one it is. And they make sure they say this is where it's going to happen if you release a secret. They put it to the heart. So you die or you keep it secret in the Freemason world. But then, like I said, it's got to be like higher up. No fucking little fireman's going to be like, all right. Yeah.
Well, what's the G that you always see on like the license plate?
See, I've heard of Gnostic, God,
Grand Mason or something.
maybe Grand Mason, geometry, but who knows? I really don't know what it is. I'm not in. But
So you should
go
join
there.
up and
Yeah.
work your way up,
Like
and then
Beerists.
expose them, and then you disappear, and this
Yeah.
podcast goes away.
The podcast gets huge. The first 20 episodes.
Maybe if anyone that watches or listens, maybe they're a Mason and they would be willing to come on and talk to us about it. I mean, we're not uber technological, but we
Even
can.
if you wanted to keep your stuff secret and just talk to us about it, name, call us on the phone.
Yeah, that's what they would do. They could call us and we'll plug them into the soundboard here, and
It'd be great.
not going to disguise their voice.
All right. You don't even tell us where you are,
It's
what chapter you are.
be like sports talk radio, unnamed texter.
From A squared.
So all
Yeah.
the crazy crap with football going on with all. I know you're on a different side of the table as I am with COVID, but
Well, I mean, I know it's a disease or a virus, but I don't think it's like as bad as people think it is. Like it's got a 99% recovery rate or something like that. But football, like I said, they need to stay playing football.
even with the Titans and everything going on.
Yeah, what happened with that? Remember the Titans?
Yes.
What happened?
No, they got an outbreak in their building, so they shut everything down, and they had just played Minnesota.
I don't know.
So 17 people originally had tested positive for the Titans. And the day after the NFL shut them down, they've now learned that they secretly had a workout after they were supposed to
Oh,
quarantine.
shit. They were trying to be like, nah, that ain't nothing. But it seems like everybody's getting it now. Like there's going to be a second wave.
Well, they did say there was going to be a second wave way
Right.
back in April. So
Mhm.
here it is. I mean, Trump had it. So,
All right.
and it's kind of blowing through the White House now.
Mhm. Kaylee McKenna.
You always got to bring her up, don't you?
She's cute. Never get away with anything with that chick.
I don't know. You never know. You know how many books are going to get read when he's not president anymore? All these people that are kissing his ass.
What do you mean? Oh, written?
Yeah, it's like once he's not president anymore and
In 28.
they don't work for him, whenever it is, whether it's in 4 months or 4 years, but you know all these greedy bastards are gonna.
What's her face? That black chick that was on that.
Oh, Omarosa.
Yeah, Omarosa.
That's what they all do.
Mm-hmm.
It's
They're doing it now.
Take your allegiance away from anything. It's like as soon as they're done, it's like, okay, how do I cash
Like
in?
he had a lawyer or something.
Oh, the dude that went to jail.
Yeah, what's his name? Michael something, I think, right?
And Michael douchebag,
Yeah.
douchebaggery or.
Well, he was talking to Chris Cuomo on CNN. They got someone hot mic'd him or something. They recorded their conversation, and they're like tight. And he wrote a book about Trump, but he was caught lying to the Supreme Court or something. So people are saying it's not right or not real, or I can't remember his fucking name though. But it was his main lawyer.
It was Michael something about it.
What's his other lawyer?
What, the mayor?
Yeah, the mayor of New York, or he used to be governor of New York. Trump's Giovanni. Now that's his lawyer.
Yeah, he just kind of, he's nutty, I think. Michael Cohen is the one you're thinking of.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, what's his name from the, what'd you say his name was?
Not Giovanni, it's something like that. Yeah, is it Giovanni or Giovanni or something? Giovanni? The guy that was in New York got hit with the jets. Mayor Giuliani.
Giuliani.
Yeah,
Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy.
I think he's a nutbag, but
They're all nutbags.
I think, yeah. So what do you think about the whole Trump COVID?
At first I thought it was some sort of little ploy that he was trying to make. But then everybody got it, so I don't know. It's weird. But like I said before, I think everybody's got a little bit of COVID in them.
A little bit of COVID for you and me.
And not everyone reacts to it the same way, you know. Sucks about your friend, but it's crazy.
That's the second person I've known that died of COVID. So
Really?
Yeah.
It was the first.
Guy that worked at the Flint Police Department.
Oh, wow. Crazy. Just COVID?
As far as I know, I mean, I wasn't like close friends with that dude. Other than seeing him twice a week when I went there to fill their snack machine. What do you think their ultimate plan is for Masons other than control? Do you think that's just basically it? Is just control?
Probably control and globalization, make everything one world. But the thing is, like in the beginning, when they created America, like George Washington, they wrote the Declaration of Independence, which has all these things that kind of go.
It's actually written by one of the people that wasn't a Mason, though. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Jefferson wasn't. I mean, he didn't write it all.
Right.
Him and Adams and Franklin were the three authors, but Jefferson wrote the majority. Go ahead.
Ben Franklin too. He was a Mason, right?
Yeah, Franklin and Adams, I believe.
Wow. But like I said, they wrote stuff in there that goes against them now. I would think, because now they're trying to change everything, like the 2, where you can have guns,
Right.
and amendment. Ones. But seems like they're all going against the Freemasons now. So I don't know what they were trying to do back then. Like, you can overthrow a government whenever you want, as long as you get the people together to do it. So I don't know. Crazy. There's a lot of shit.
Well, let's segue, since that's a good segue, about what happened here in Michigan today.
See, I just heard it. I didn't.
6 people originally, now it's up to 13 people, have been arrested or indicted for plotting to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan.
Stretching Gretchen.
Before the, I don't get stretching Gretchen, but whatever. So to your point, that's part of how a militia is not supposed to work, because it has been tied, allegedly tied to some radical militia group that they're all part of. Most of them are from Michigan. A couple of people are from Delaware. I think I could be getting that wrong. They got
conspiracy beer shirts on.
I mean, thanks for listening if you were, but I don't think you're going to be getting them in jail anytime soon. So maybe you can. I don't know. I've never been in jail, so I don't know if you can download podcasts or not.
Commissary.
I mean, I fill the vending machines at
Right.
the Flint jail, but I've never been behind the
Bar scene.
And I know you're not a huge fan of hers, but that's kind of, to me, where
I think she was going to be vice president almost.
she was in the running for.
Kamala's job.
Were you just saying Biden's going to win because you said she was going to be?
She was running to be. Yeah.
Sorry, I tried to trap you there.
You want Biden to win?
I've actually already voted.
Really?
I know you don't care about that. But I didn't mail it. I took it to the box and dropped it off. And I voted for a third party member because I'm not huge on Biden either.
Right. Well, the thing is, I think when he gets in, they're going to do something to him to where she's the.
Could be. I mean, that's people talked about that way back with Reagan.
Right. Right.
And,
Bush, right?
But I'll admit it now. I voted for Joe Jorgensen.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I'm not even a libertarian. So
I don't know, GG. I vote GG.
They're just more along the lines of giving you more freedom, taking less government out, which I don't think either party right now is serious about it. I know Republicans like to say they're less government, but they're not. So,
Right.
and the Libertarian Party is, well, at least that's what they're trying to sell you on, is less government and more that. So, in case anyone wants to know, I voted for Joe Jorgensen.
Where's your sticker? But what's going on with the stimulus checks? You ever hear anything about that?
I know it changes every week, so
We'll see. We'll fucking sign it. She wants money for the Democrat cities that are all fucked up, I guess.
I heard a thing about that, but I haven't really heard that it's been debunked. But I think it's just a piss and match between two sides of the government. There's like, I want this money, and
Another thing was, fuck, I can't remember what I was gonna say now. It's about Pelosi, I think. Oh, I seen a thing about her eye doing that shit. It's weird. It's a lot different, but she was on with George Papadopoulos or whatever.
Papadopoulos.
Say that. And then he asked her a question, and she fucking cracks out and goes to a different thing.
Are you talking about the reptilian thing that we talked about?
No, she does that too somehow. But she, like, something changes and she's like, "Good morning, Sunday morning."
Well, she's 148 years old.
But it's crazy, man. She's crazy. Crazy Nancy.
Drain the swamp, or whatever your catchphrase is. I don't know.
Drain the swamp.
So did you watch the President VP debate?
I didn't watch that one, no.
I didn't. I mean, all I've seen on social media is people talking about that fucking fly. It's like,
I heard there was a
that's
fly
like the
too.
highlight that they have to come up with, is they got to talk
They
about
said
it.
that fly is the most popular fly in the world right now.
Had a Twitter account within 5 minutes. So, do you or will you vote? Are you going to vote?
Yeah, I'm gonna vote.
I know who you're going to vote for.
Right.
So, you're going to vote for Mayor Quimby. I mean, I've said it. I said it to you. I don't know if I said it on the air or not before. That I've voted for Democrat and Republican. I've voted the second time. I voted third party. Voted Green Party back in 2012, and that was a mistake. But whatever.
Not like they got stats on your card or anything.
Maybe they do.
They probably do.
I thought my ballot was pretty much what I am. It was like some Democrat, some Republican.
Mueller.
I did actually, and so what did we? Oh, it was the voter fraud.
Did you hear about Ilhan Omar?
No,
You didn't?
the chick from Minnesota.
Yeah, the one that wears the. She's from Somalia.
Right.
She was paying people $200 for their things, and they got a Project Veritas on her or on that guy that did it. So it's crazy there. There's all types of shit going on. It's probably on both sides though.
Well, there's no questions on both sides. I mean, I got in a debate with a guy about the voter fraud. And I think that's what you and I started our debate about on text about the Pennsylvania thing.
That's the military ones.
Yeah. And it's like, you think it doesn't happen on both sides?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
And he's like, nope, they were all for Trump. I goes, no, they weren't all for Trump.
I think
7 of the 10 were for Trump.
Oh, there was more than.
There was 10 ballots. I said, but they weren't all for Trump because that's what he was going for. I was like, so you think there's not.
Right. No, it's for the power of the best country in the world. These people are going to try everything.
Well, do you really think we're the best country in the world anymore? I mean, other than our own minds.
Yeah.
I'm trying to piss people off
I
here.
don't go. I haven't been to any other countries of Canada. I'm scared to go there anymore.
You little brother.
Nickelback.
Why are you scared to go to Canada?
I'm not scared. I'm scared to go to other countries for sure. Not necessarily Canada.
I mean, I can't say anything because that's the only other country I've been to. So
right. I wouldn't go to Mexico for nothing. It's scary.
I don't know why anyone would want to. I mean, nothing against Mexican people, but I just hear about all these stories about people going to Cabo and all these places and
kidnapped and everything.
Not just even the kidnapping, just getting sick, eating the food and the water.
Drinking water. Pretty bad when you can't drink the water.
I mean, just think we're surrounded by what is this planet, like 80% water?
Right.
It's like
you can't get shit down here.
I mean, look at Flint, look at the town, the city that we live in. So
it's like Mexico.
Little Mexico. That's what.
Little Mexico.
That's Saginaw, isn't it?
Yeah, Sag nasty.
So what do you think will happen? And I kind of want to broach this. Let's say Biden wins, because we know who I voted for is not going to win, even though people will say I threw my vote away, which I didn't. It's my right to vote for who I want to vote for.
Have you seen like the Biden rallies? Online?
I don't really. I watch a little bit of news and stuff, but I don't.
Well, his rallies compared to Trump's rallies it's fucking craziness. How many people are for Trump and how many are actually for Biden? Forbidden for Biden.
So what are you saying?
Saying that it's probably not going to look good for Joe, and even though they're saying he's ahead of everything, I don't buy it. It's craziness, man. But
if you remember in 2016, they said the same thing about Hillary, and woke up and Trump was president. So
But now it's gonna be weird because the mail-in thing, probably aren't gonna know on the first day.
Well, we didn't know the first day then either. We didn't. I mean, in 2000, we didn't know for a
So
couple.
when was Bush
2000.
Kerry? Or no, Bush.
Bush and Gore.
Gore. Where he fucking cricketed in Florida.
Who, Bush?
Yes. I did.
Hanging Chads.
I sure did.
So what's he sounds like his dad now all of a sudden?
His dad's dead.
See, that's one thing, and people that might listen to this might think I'm a Democrat, and I'm really not, because I did vote for Bush twice. And I used to get pissed off at people that would bitch about how he couldn't talk. And I kind of get pissy with people that pick on Biden because he has a stuttering issue. It's like, that doesn't...
Did you see he had a wire in the thing, debate?
No.
He had a fucking wire right here, and he went like this. There's a fucking microphone right there.
Thought they were supposed to check to make sure you didn't have
And
that.
they checked his ears, I guess, to see if they had it.
Well, that's one thing I'll stand up for, and I'm not standing up for a Democrat just because they're a Democrat, but that was hosted by Fox, which is right.
Yeah,
So-
but Chris Wallace he's so far left, it's unreal.
Why is he on Fox then?
I don't know. They need a couple. They got a black guy on one of them.
Oh, so you're a black guy, you're not.
Liberal. But Wallace was actually.
I guess the squirrel wants to come in here and get on conspiracy theories.
But he was at Epstein Island. Wallace was too, which is crazy. They got pictures of him.
How many of those rich and famous people do you think haven't been on that
Yeah,
island?
I don't know. It's crazy.
I mean, do you really think Trump hasn't been on that island?
I don't know. If he was, I'm sure they would have already said it by now. Don't you think?
And it'll come out once he's not president anymore, because
That's the way it goes. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, look at all the shit that they're trying to say about Obama now that he's not president that they couldn't say before. So
Like what do you mean? But he
just bringing out all this stuff that they're saying that, prosecute him this, prosecute him. They couldn't do it when he was president because you can't prosecute the president.
right. Treason.
So you don't think any of that shit's going to happen when Trump's
I'm
not
sure
president?
something's gonna happen.
Anyways, my question was, what do you think is going to happen if you wake up on November and Biden wins decisive?
I think either way, there's going to be riots. Either way.
Oh, I agree with that. There's going to be a shitstorm.
Yeah.
I mean, we already seen the shitstorm in the debate last week. So.
Yeah, that was a shitstorm. But yeah, I think there's going to be riots for sure. Either way, if Biden wins, it's going to be like the militias,
No, but I'm asking you, do you think Trump will?
Oh, leave?
Yeah.
After he investigates it, I guess.
I mean, let's just hypothetically say Biden kicks his ass. I mean,
Okay.
overwhelming ass kicking, like Mondale got his ass
If
kicked
that
by.
happens, it's
If-
rigged.
I'm saying, hypothetically, like Reagan and Mondale in '84, what was like 300 electoral votes to 4 or whatever the fuck Mondale had.
Like I was 8.
He's like, yep, I got my ass kicked. It's all yours. Or do you think he'll follow through with his tweets and stuff saying that he's not gonna?
Like I said, I don't know if it's a ass whipping. Maybe he will just concede it, but I don't see it happening. I really don't.
I'm just saying hypothetically, if it happens, we're playing a little game
A
here.
little game. Do I think he'll stay in president? No, probably not. I don't know what else he can do,
I mean, he can't stay in president. I mean,
Right.
you can send the military and say,
I don't know if they'll do that. I think they said they wouldn't do that or something, right?
I mean, I don't think there's any choice if he
I'm
he
sure
gets
it'll
his
get out.
if he loses and it goes through the whole court system and they say you lost, then he doesn't want to leave. And
Well, that's
what else are they going
different.
to
Yeah,
do?
right. It's another thing, the Supreme Court decision shit going on. fucking nuts. Because they want, supposedly the Democrats are going to add more if they put this one in. They're going to add more seats to it.
See, that's my issue with this whole, it's like the whole Roe v. Wade thing they're trying to, that's already been decided 40 years ago.
Right.
How can you go back on a decision that you made 40 years ago? I mean, I realize that they did the whole segregation stuff, and that was something that needed to be changed because that was obviously stupid. But so the Supreme Court made these decisions in the 70s. Why are you 40 years later now trying to go back and
right, put more of the Democrats in?
I don't think it's just Democrats, because it's the Republicans trying to get rid of Roe v. Wade.
Oh yeah, what is
the abortion one?
Right.
Whether you agree with it or not, it's been.
I have nothing to do with it.
I mean, that's one of the big things that he's running on. So,
life. Yeah, he's like a Christian president now, supposedly, but he's not Christian.
Okay, he's about as Christian as I am, but
right.
That's a debate for another day.
And then they're mad at him for taking his mask off when he got back from COVID. You see that? Like, that's one of their main points. He was by himself. What's he gonna keep his mask on up there?
I think the main thing that I was giggling about was his photo opportunity driving around when he was still in the hospital.
It's like,
why did you do that? I mean, there was no point to do it,
right?
Other than saying, a big fuck you thumb.
COVID.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's trying to do, is trying to get all this stuff that Americans have feared and make it so they're not fearing against it. Like North Korea shit. He goes over there and makes friends with them. He's got 3 peace offerings and shit with Israel.
I took issue with somebody online, and maybe you'll disagree with me. They said, Trump brought peace to the Middle East. I'm like, yeah, he brought peace to 2 factions, but there's 3 there. He left the Palestinians out, so there's never going to be peace while there's.
I thought they did the Palestinians.
No, they were left out of the peace agreement. So
I have to do more research on that shit. I don't even know what's going on.
One of them was left out. And maybe I'm getting the wrong faction, but it was like Israelis and whatever. Right. But
that's crazy too. The whole thing's fucking just a madhouse right now. Politics.
So what's going to happen with all the stimulus and stuff? Is it just? Well, I mean, allegedly there's these billions of dollars in this fund just sitting there. It's like,
right. I guess, like I said, she wanted money to go to the Democratic cities like Chicago that got burned up, or Oregon or whatever. And he doesn't want to pay the money because that's their fault. They could have had him bring in the military,
National Guard.
They didn't want to do that, and they come out and try and riot with these people, and saying how it's BLM is a peaceful protest, which is not. And most of the people in BLM are white Antifa.
To be fair, there have been some.
Yeah, there was some peaceful stuff.
I mean, the stuff the Flint has been,
right, that's fucking amazing.
And it's a Democratic city. And I did vote for that dude, Chris Swanson. He's the sheriff guy.
Oh.
He
Actually, I just seemed like I did see something on this guy, Chris Swanson.
He's the guy that just became, because the other dude retired. And he took over and is running. So, and since I do the machines at the jail, I he's like, you gonna vote for me? I'm like, I'm gonna keep buying Dr. Pepper out the machine.
I like you who
he seems like a good dude. Not that I really know him personally, other than seeing him 3 times a week when I'm in there, but whatever. Anyways, any other Mason stuff you want to that we didn't cover? Kind of got sidetracked. Shocker.
No, not really. I mean, like I said, they're all over. They're trying to control the world with higher ups, like the royal family, and that's crazy because the Epstein thing right now, or Epstein with Prince Andrew.
Yeah, that kind of disappeared. I haven't heard anything about Prince Andrew in a while. It's like this
They
week
do
and
try and change the news cycles too. Like China had 2 bombings in 1 week or something last week. And they're like, "Oh, switch it over there. What's going on over there?" Instead of over here. Not necessarily Prince Andrew, but other shit. So that's what they try and do. Then the media's all up their fucking asses. That's crazy.
I mean, better them than me. I don't want to be up their ass, but.
No.
So, is there something you want to talk about on the next episode, or?
Not sure. What do you think?
I think by the time we talk again, we'll be just before the election,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it might be real interesting by then. So,
right. Yeah, who knows? This is going to be a big month, I think.
and Halloween, and take your kids trick or treating.
Fuck no. Walk around the fucking block.
Just
Is it even going on? I don't even know if Halloween.
Linden, the town I live in, has announced that they suggest social distancing and
Mask. Weird.
and taking the extra steps to be safeguarding, but they're not canceling any specific trick or treating.
Razors and Tootsie Rolls for the Freemasons.
Speaking of razors, I just read somewhere down by Detroit, apparently there's a city ordinance where you have to have your signs a certain distance off.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, this lady kept having her Trump signs taken.
Fucking blades on it. And
No, so you seen it, the razor
yeah.
blades?
I seen one with electric shit on it. Like the guy grabs it.
Yeah, well, city worker went and was doing the easeway, so he moved the sign and fucking cut his hand all up and shit. And she's like, "I didn't put those in." You lying bitch. You fess up at that point.
He's probably getting a lawsuit and everything, right?
Well, she's gonna have to pay for his medical bills, I'm guessing. It's
fucking evil.
I don't care who you vote for. I will never be one of those people who's like, "This is who I'm gonna vote for," even though I just told you people who I voted for. But
You're Joe Jorgensen.
I don't have a Joe Jorgensen sign outside in front of my house.
Wonder if they even have them. Do they have Jorgensen signs?
I'm sure they do, because I've seen them at least
I've only seen
digitally.
a few Biden.
I've seen a lot of Biden ones, but I've seen a lot of more Trump ones around here. But I honestly think
You think he's gonna win, Biden?
I mean, I do, but
You do think he's gonna win?
I also thought Hillary was going to win 4 years ago, and I woke up the next morning like, what's the old
that's
Eddie
thing,
Murphy?
He's an outsider, and they just don't want him to win anymore. Because if he wins this time, then he can go to town and do whatever, because he knows he's not running for another election. So there could be all types of shit going on. Eventually, to drain the swamp. So hopefully he wins.
Well, ultimately, the problem that we need to get rid of is the two-party system. So,
Yeah, do that too, and get rid of all the bullshit that's been going on. Because I know Biden's been in there fucking almost 50 years, hasn't done a fucking thing, right? He rips on fucking black people and then rips on somebody else for being racist.
well, that's a politician for you.
Mm-hmm. That's why
I mean, even Trump has done that. And I know you don't like to hear that, but
What do you mean?
he's made comments
Oh, I'm sure.
20, 30 years ago. And
But Herschel Walker's his best buddy. Did you see that?
Herschel Walker.
Herschel
Why did he get
Walker.
traded to Minnesota or something?
He was on the Republican National Committee or RNC or whatever the fuck it is. That before they did it, their debate, and he's like, "I've known him for 30 years." He didn't talk like Bush, but
So he said,
he's like, "I'm the he's like, I'm the strongest, fastest motherfucker ever."
until I got traded to Minnesota or Dallas or yeah.
Didn't he get
No, he went from Dallas to Minnesota, right?
for all those
Draft picks.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Then you have Ricky Williams getting drafted from Saints for all those
For his entire
Ditka.
draft. That's
Yeah.
like, I think that's the last time Mike Ditka ever got a job.
Probably. It's on ESPN.
I've got a friend that helps me with my radio show, music shows, and she's from Schenectady, New York, so she's a huge Bills fan. And she always whines about, the Bills have it so bad. I'm like, really? One playoff win in 60 years? You've got it bad. You've been to 4 Super Bowls?
Right. In a fucking row, right?
Huh?
4 Super
Yeah,
Bowls
four in a row. And just this past weekend, she made a comment about Bills being 4-0. And then she's like, "Oh, sorry, Dan. Yeah, I don't mean to rub it in." I'm like, yeah, I'm used to it.
Immune. God, they suck. Lions.
I've said forever that if they ever win the Super Bowl,
Oh my God.
Detroit's going to burn down.
Amazing.
I mean, it might need it. So I guess that we kind of got sidetracked, shocker.
Many times.
And we'll wrap up this episode with a thank you all for your continued support. This is technically our first episode of our second year.
Oh, yeah. Second season.
Yeah. 4,000 downloads in our first year, which I think is pretty good.
That's a record.
And
That's
it
here.
might not be a
I'm just
record. It's not
joking.
Joe Rogan. But what's the latest on that? I haven't heard anything about the
Well,
Rogan.
he came out and addressed it. How Spotify, and they never said nothing to him, he said. But
They just keep sending content.
yeah, right. But they still, like I said, they censored all his good fucking videos.
I mean, we're on Spotify too. We just don't get paid by them.
Hey, 50 million. I'll say whatever you want.
But if you catch us on YouTube and you prefer audio podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on iTunes, we're on, Google Play isn't anymore, but it's something turning into something different. I'm forgetting now, but wherever it is you get your podcast, you can check us out. So if you have a conspiracy that you'd like us to talk about in any future podcast, just let us know either on the YouTube channel or on our Facebook page at Conspiracy Beerists. And anything you heard tonight, you can let us know what you think, and don't take our word for it.
Do your research. Later.
You're not going to scream at this. Ryan and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe either wherever it is you listen to the podcast or on YouTube. And if you have a suggestion of a conspiracy you'd like us to talk about, let us know on Facebook or YouTube at Conspiracy Beerists. And until next time, remember, the truth is out there. You just have to know where to look.
WLLP, Spock Rock Radio.